Hey yo, this is Fonz,
Quan.
and welcome to another show. We're glad that you decided to tune in with us. Do us a favor. First, like, share, subscribe, because that's gonna help us out. For real. That's really gonna help us out. Also, if you're on Facebook or whatever, go to the Back Porch Sports Podcast War Room. We got all types of updates. I mean, even because football season is basically officially on us, it's gonna be a lot of trash talk.
There'll be a lot of trash talk. So y'all need to make sure y'all follow.
So y'all follow us and everything. And without further ado, kick that theme music. And we are back. Welcome back to the Back Porch Sports Podcast with your man Fonz.
And Quan.
Buddy, what is going on with you?
Nothing much, man. Another week.
Another week in the books. Let's go ahead and jump into the show. So before we go forth with anything, big shout out to Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, man. Like, really, big shout out to Coach Prime, man.
Look, you had
Listen,
that thing music.
let me tell you, I wish I had it. If I wasn't scared that we were gonna get flagged, man, I would have threw it up there. Like, yo, not the Colorado Buffaloes. First of all, they're getting the fan base now. Because we knew nothing about.
I'm a fan.
Yeah, I like Colorado, you know.
Since September.
Since week 1 of the college football season, I've been on y'all, you know. But this past Saturday night, man, they had a game against Colorado State, and it was a lot of back and forth the week leading to that game, especially on Colorado State side. And Colorado ended the game as a 23.5 point favorite. And they won in double overtime. 43-35. Good game. Shout out to Shador Sanders, man. He had a game, man. I throw down. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I watched part of the game, but I had stuff to do Sunday morning. So I went to bed, and they were telling me this game was on about 2:00 in the morning. Eastern Standard Time, of course. Prayers up to Travis Hunter. He's their two-way players, receiver, and a DB. It was a late hit, dog. Like, that jump was crazy. But big prayers up to him. Hope he get well. But he's out 3 weeks, so he's going to miss the Oregon game. But big prayers up to him, man. And, of course, not to mention, let's go back to Shador Sanders. This dude engineered a 98-yard drive with 2:06 left to play in regulation. He found Michael Harrison, Tavares Dawson, Xavier Weaver, and he capped it off with a 45-yard pass to Jimmy Horn Jr. 7 plays, 98 yards in 90 seconds, which tied the game at 28-all. And, of course, from there, it was ball game. So big shout out to the Colorado Buffaloes, man, and Coach Deion, Coach Prime Sanders, man. We really appreciate you, not only as a football coach, but for the culture. Thank you. You get a round of applause, sir. All right. So let's keep it going. So let's talk a little bit about week 2.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of games stuck out. First of all, the Bengals. Now, Bengals, this is like recency bias, but they started 0-2 3 years in a row. Do you think they're going to pull it out again, or is this the end of the Bengals as we know it?
Still kind of tough to call, but I will say, definitely some struggles going on early on in this season. Yeah. Do I think they can pull it out again? It's kind of a broad statement.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I don't, though. I don't. I just think it's
hard to tell.
It's like I said, it's really tough to tell. But for right now, I think they could turn it around. I think it's just a matter of getting that chemistry back with certain receivers like T. Higgins, um, and getting Chase involved. And I just think they in a slump right now, like a lot of teams still are. I mean, we still, early on, like I said before.
Yeah, it's just me too.
Still a lot of time for them to turn it around. I don't think they'll make a deep playoff run though, but that's just, I guess, me being a Bengals hater. But I don't know, man. They just look out of sync right now. They don't look like Cincinnati of last year or the year before that. Just this year is different. It's a different feel.
It's a different year for them, and I'm going to concur with you for the moment. I really feel like they will turn it around because they always do. Like I said, recency bias. On the other hand, Joe Burrow looked hurt.
Yeah, he looked a little worn out there.
The leg won. That's what's going on. He got an ouchie. I'm just saying. I really feel like they are one of those teams that's going to hold down the middle of the pack this year. I don't think they're going to challenge for the AFC North crown, nor do I think they're going to challenge for AFC supremacy. Now, let's talk about the AFC just very briefly. The AFC, we thought it was going to be wide open. So far, it's like a 3 to 4 team race at this point. Miami is going to be Miami until otherwise. The Jets, we all know what happened with the Jets. Excuse me. I don't think they're going to do much of anything this year. And you got Kansas City. Kansas City is getting off to a slow start. This is the slowest I've seen.
But they win the ball game. They won their last ball game.
They won their last ball game. But they open up the season against Detroit, even though Detroit was, to me, is my dark horse. Everybody know Detroit is my dark horse. And you got Baltimore, who's kind of getting in the groove. We lost some pieces here and there, but even with lost pieces, we still able to put out a football team that can win games. The Bengals, honestly, I really feel like it's going to be a log jam in the AFC. I think the Bengals make the playoffs, but not as a top seed. I really feel like the Bengals going to be between 4 and 7. At this point, if they keep going the trajectory that they're going, like I said, T. Higgins. I watched the game Sunday. T. Higgins 8. That was because Jamar Chase was locked down virtually the entire game with second string corners, which is ridiculous. But big shout out to the Baltimore Ravens. Let's go. Let's move on. Dallas Cowboys. They only gave up 10 points in the last 2 games. Are they for real, or are they just beating up on inferior teams?
I think their defense is for real.
Yeah.
Their defense has been playing like pretty good for the first 2 weeks of the football season. They have been playing some mediocre teams that I feel like they could beat. Regardless to, well, I'm not going to say if they had the defense that they had or not, but the likeliness of them winning those games still without Michael Parsons, maybe. I think they can still pull it out. But that defense is for real, man. I mean, they've been doing enough and taking advantage of any mistakes that a team may make and picking up points.
Right.
I mean, I can't hate on that. I mean, and a defense, like I said, looks young and thrived over there in Dallas right now.
The defense looks hungry. They, like you said, they a very opportunistic defense. I do see them making a little noise in the NFC playoff race. I do see them doing that. Will they make it? I don't know because I still don't trust Dak Prescott. Like I will
say this. Yeah. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Go ahead.
I will say this. I was surprised that they actually. Well, I was expecting the Jets defense to be disruptive, but they was getting the ball out pretty quick.
Of course.
I mean, I think one of the keys to the Jets being successful or being, a big disturbance to the offense is
Mm-hmm.
that front seven.
Mm-hmm.
If you could just keep them off balance with that, I think it opened up a lot of other things as well. And that's pretty much what the Cowboys did. Majority of the game. I mean, short, quick passes to people like Tony Pollard,
Right.
CeeDee Lamb. I mean, just getting the ball out pretty quick and keeping that pressure off. Um, Jets are just the two New York teams that they face is just struggling to put up points, and I can't really fault the Jets for the loss that they got.
Yeah,
So
I'm not.
until they find some comfortability with Zach Wilson, if they stay with him, which it looks like they may stay with him. Um,
I don't think they
but
really have a choice at
they
this point.
didn't. Also, they didn't feed Brees Hall
Yeah, which
neither. I
is
mean,
weird.
he got two. He got two touches.
Mm.
Which was, like you said, that was weird. So, I mean, yes, the defense is for real. They got a shutout week one. They held the Jets to 10 points, which we all know the Jets need a quarterback. So
Mm.
I applaud them, and then again, I don't. And I see them probably be 3-0 next week because they play the Cardinals um next week. So we'll
Yeah,
be
yeah,
back at this same vision of are the Cowboys for real?
yeah.
I just think right now they in a well, the Giants game was surprising. I'm not gonna lie. I
It
thought
was.
that was gonna be a close one.
I think that was an
I'll give them
aberration.
that Jets win that they just got. I'll give them that one. I think
Hmm.
they just caught the Giants at a bad time, bad game, just bad.
Right.
um, but I mean they still the first 3 weeks, 4 weeks of the schedule. I mean it's not. I don't think they have been challenged
Yeah.
like they should.
And I agree with you. 'Cause I was thinking the same thing. They haven't had a real test yet. You know.
Yeah.
All right. So this is a good one. So speaking of those New York Giants, the New York Giants and the Washington Commanders, they both engineered massive comebacks this past Sunday. Combined, it was a 39-point deficit between both teams they had to come back from. So let me tell you a quick story. So I watched the Denver Washington game. Denver was all over them. So I turned it off. I said, I'm gonna go sit in my garage, and enjoy some fresh air, because I had to go to work Monday. I'm gonna leave the rest of my Sunday. And I'm seeing people saying somebody on Facebook was like, Washington just tied the game up. I said, nah. So I go back and look, and sure enough, not only Washington, by the time I went in there and looked, Washington tied and scored again. I'm like, yo. So, and then the New York Giants, like I said, they was dead in the water too, but they came back.
So I will say Giants had a great second half.
They did.
Yeah, they got it together.
They really
Um,
did, man.
I don't know. It's just for me seeing things. I just think it's kind of tough giving up a game like that for the Broncos and the Cardinals when you got a
Mm-hmm.
team down like that. Just that just goes to show you the game is never over. um,
It ain't over till,
I,
till the lady starts singing.
Let the fat lady start singing,
When
and
she
when they kept her hush, she was warming up on them, but they told her shut up and had to take a peppermint.
they were like, "Shut up! You ain't ready.
But
We ain't ready for you yet."
the thing about the Giants that I'm scared for them next week is they're going to be without Saquon Barkley,
Yeah.
and what I've seen from them is him and Darren Waller. And that rookie, he had one good catch, but Darren Waller and Saquon was one of the most targeted receivers, or whatever whatever you have Saquon doing,
Yeah.
in that game, and they're finna play the 49ers.
Mm.
So,
Mm.
but I
Good.
mean,
God bless them. That's all
it
I
was
can say.
they did I applaud them for doing something that they didn't do last week. I mean, they scored points and they came back and beat the Cardinals, which I don't think it was a huge win because I think they was favorites to win this game anyway.
Yeah.
But just big shout out to them for keeping their head in the game and
Right. Most
not
teams would have been
letting
like they was over it.
not letting that ghost
Yeah.
that had a goose egg because they had a goose egg on the board.
Yes, they did. Duck egg, goose egg, chicken boy, turkey boy.
They didn't let that hurt them in week 2.
Yeah. Yep. So, like I said, big shout out to the New York Football Giants and the Washington Commanders. Y'all did good this weekend. All right. So y'all already know we debuted a new segment last week, and it's called the what name? The Big Dummy of the Week. So, without further ado, Fred, where you at?
You big dummy.
All right, Fred, appreciate you, man. All right, my Quan, I know you got something you want to say about your big dummy, so you can go ahead and kick it on off.
Well, as y'all can see, my big dummy is this guy, Matt Canada. For those of you that don't know, you know now. His name is Matt Canada, offensive coordinator for my favorite team, the Pittsburgh Steelers. I guess this kind of started when he went for the 3rd and 1 against the Browns last night on Monday Night Football, as if he had a Lamar Jackson or Jalen Hurts back there. He went for it, 3rd and 1. Kenny Pickett ran. I don't have a problem with Kenny Pickett running the ball. Every once in a while, you'll see Kenny Pickett, scramble out. But on a call like that, on a divisional game that was physical from start to finish. I mean, That game was 4 lead changes in that game. Physical, Browns defensive line played physical, lights out. Shout out to their defense coordinator, bringing that swag. They got a thing going on in Cleveland that if you make a big play and you don't celebrate, they have some type of word for it. So they got some swagger going on the Browns defense, which won't last long.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
So Matt Canada is my big dummy. Matt Canada has been the offensive coordinator for the Steelers for, I think, about 2-3 years now. And this is just a small statistic. After that game, a lot of other people, including our fans at the stadium, was chanting, "Fire Canada."
After a win.
So, in the last 38 games with Matt Canada as offensive coordinator, the Steelers have scored 20 points just 29 times out of 38 games. They also failed. They also failed to reach 400 yards in every one of those showings. In week 2, they were outscored by the defense and totaled just 9 first downs.
Good
9
Lord.
first downs. Not just for a quarter, for the whole game. The whole 4 quarters, we had 9 first downs. 9 first downs can happen in one drive.
It can, maybe about 2.
So maybe 2 drives. I just think it's either gonna be him or Mike Tomlin, and I love Mike Tomlin. Let me. It hurt my feelings yesterday when I found out he was 51. I was like, wow. I'm not saying it's old, not saying anything like that, but he don't look like he's in his 50s.
He just got there,
Never had a losing season. So, but at the same time, I just think Mike Tomlin is such a player's coach, and I feel like sometimes he don't take advantage of an authority that he has. And we've been struggling since Matt Canada became offensive coordinator, and I want him gone. I understand that Kenny Pickett is in year 2. And it's a lot of growing spurts that they're going through together, trying to find out what Kenny Pickett likes, trying to find out what Matt Canada likes. But in a sense, I feel like it's hurting everyone. The play calling is hurting Najee Harris. It's hurting Kenny Pickett. I mean, let's just be honest. We've been ignoring this fact because I feel like part of the reason why we're ignoring it is because the media has been pushing the Pickett and Pickens connection. But let me just say, offensive coordinator, I think we need to design some plays for them to be on the same page. Because, I mean, Deontay Johnson is currently hurt. So he's not there right now. George Pickens is a beast. He showed that week 1, his rookie year. He showed that he can make some spectacular catches and all that. He has a lot of upside to him. And I think they both need each other right now. I'm just disappointed in our productivity on the offensive side. Our defensive side of the ball is great. They won the game for us last night. If it wasn't for Alex Highsmith and TJ Watt picking up the performance that they did, Browns would have whooped us. And not to mention, they lost Nick Chubb, who was on pace to probably have about 200 yards rushing on us as well. So big shout out to the defense. But at the same time, I know that the Steelers, you know, we believe in Blitzburg and we believe in that steel curtain. But those days are long gone. And I'm not saying that because our defense is not good. I'm saying that because these teams, the current NFL teams right now, are scoring points. I mean, and it'll be so much better for us if we can just get a better offensive coordinator. He wasn't good in college. He is not good in the pros. I mean, it's too predictable. It's too simple. I mean, just it's when we run the ball, it's simple. We're not pulling no tackles. We're not doing anything. It's just it's really bad. It's really when your defense has to go out there and play as hard as they got to play. Now they already playing hard because they have a passion for the game already.
Right.
But they playing 10, 20 times harder because offense can't do nothing. If they want us to get back on the field and score some points, they can't even catch their doggone breath because they playing the most snaps in the game. 9 first downs. So imagine how many downs the defense played last night if we only got 9 first downs. Now, shout out to our punter, Presley, whatever his name is, Harvin, I believe.
Yeah.
He's a good punter. I ain't gonna lie. He put the Browns in down there to the goal line.
He put them in some tight spots.
So he put them in some tight spots. But that we can't depend on that. I mean, we just cannot. We got to put up points, y'all.
I see y'all playing the field position game. Not to cut you off, but I see y'all like last night. Y'all playing the game of field position,
right?
Because you know, and then when the offense gets stagnant, y'all decide to turn it to your defense. And so far, your defense. Well, I ain't gonna say so far because the first week was just ugh. But last night, your defense came up big. So I get what they're doing, but at the same time, I mean, you sound like me with G-Ro.
Like I said, it's going to hurt us in the end. It's going to hurt us in the end. TJ means the world to the Steelers franchise. So does Alex Highsmith and all the rest of the additions that we didn't, added to that defense this year, this offseason. We can't afford to get TJ. I don't want to see doggone TJ Watt go out. So and that may happen regardless to if we were scoring points or not. But it's more high risk when he's out there more than he should be. And I'm disappointed in both coaches, Matt Canada and Mike Tomlin. I feel like Mike Tomlin don't want to fire Matt Canada because then he'll be responsible for all the blame with the offense. But that's your team. You've been there 17, 18 years. So what? I'd rather have you make the play calls than to watch this guy have Kenny Pickett running on 3rd and 1 when we got this Amazon back here and a running back, Najee Harris, that I know can get a yard. So that's my big dummy. That was bad play calling for the past 3 years. It's been bad play calling.
That's real.
I want Canada gone. Never have I ever seen the Steelers fans be chanting fire somebody in a live game. That's what the whole state is. So, and I like to think that the Steelers fans are pretty loyal to their coaches, some of them, and you know, it's not a good look, man. It don't represent that black and gold. It's not representing. It's not like they say. It's not pushing P. That's my big dummy, man.
All right, Fred, let them have. Oh my God, he said not pushing P.
You big dummy.
All right. Thank you, my quad, for that lovely dissertation about your offensive coordinator. All right, so I'm gonna make mine short, sweet, and hard to beat. Now we talked about these comebacks, from Sunday. I was gonna say New York, but I guess they heard the show. Denver Broncos. Let me be frank. Denver Broncos, y'all as a team, as a defense, as a coaching staff, y'all are my big dummies of the week. How on God's green earth do you allow a team to come back that hasn't started 2-0 since 2011, had his biggest comeback since 1990? How you let them dig out of an 18-point deficit? How do you do that? 18 unanswered, excuse me, and let them outscore you 32-3. How? How in the world you do that? Now, y'all know I'm not a Russell Wilson fan. Nowhere, shape, or form. I think he's one of the most overrated quarterbacks ever. But I can't put the blame on him. So somewhere down the line, there was a disconnect. Somebody unplugged the charger cable. And y'all let them boys come back. And I don't get it. But as we say all the time, it's football. It's any given Sunday, certain things are going to happen. But Denver, y'all are my big dummy of the week. Fred? What you going to call them, Fred?
You big dummy.
That's what I'm talking about. Oh, man. So, again, great show, man. I'm really enjoying this ride here. Those of y'all who are on Facebook, please go into the war room. We has fun in there, Somebody's posting a crazy meme or somebody doing something, especially that chat. That chat is where it goes down. So y'all come on in there, Back Porch Sports Podcast War Room, and we will gladly let you in, regardless if you're a Cowboy fan, because we got something in there. Regardless if you're a Giant fan, because you got something in there. Regardless if you're a Steelers fan, because one of the admin is a Steelers fan. Everybody's welcome, man. Trash talk is welcome as well. So, also, if let us know in the comments who your big dummy is, and we will gladly let it be a part of that segment. Just hit us up in the comments, let us know, and please let us know. I'm tired of talking to myself.
Yeah.
Let us know how you like the show, anything you would like to see on the show. Let us know, because when you do that, it supports this channel. It supports the podcast in more ways than one. And for those of y'all that has been supporting, we greatly appreciate you guys. And, Quan, you got anything you want to say?
Not at all. Just make sure y'all drop a comment and continue to watch.
Thank y'all to the viewers. I forgot to mention y'all, but the viewers that watched last week's show, we appreciate y'all. Y'all let that show blow up. We greatly appreciate y'all. Let's do it again. And those of y'all that's watching that's not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, because we try to pump out some content that'll be relevant to you. Well, as Warner Brothers says, bleep bleep. That's all, folks. This is the Back Porch Sports Podcast with your man Fonz
and Quan,
and we out of here.